Over the last 5 years, Arsenal's record of promoting young players has been genuinely incredible. The club has built a reputation for trusting talent from Hale End and giving them real opportunities at the highest level.
I think it's because he's come straight back into the starting lineup off of the back of an injury, and he just looked so natural on the ball. He was causing chaos for the defenders. He was very, very skillful. It's just a shame that he actually couldn't get a goal.
Bukayo Saka became a global superstar after breaking through alongside Emile Smith-Rowe and Eddie Nketiah, players who proved that Arsenal's academy could produce top-level footballers capable of performing in the Premier League. Nketiah alone generated £60 million in the transfer market last summer, showing just how valuable these academy graduates have become for the club. And the production line didn't stop there. That generation was quickly followed by the next wave of Hale End talent, with Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly stepping into the first team almost as a double act last season, continuing Arsenal's tradition of developing fearless young players ready to compete at the highest level.
It is unbelievable, but he does it in training almost every day. He's got this quality, this personality. He's there to make things happen. He doesn't care who's got around him. If he needs to make the decision for his own, he does it, and he scored a fantastic goal tonight.
But here's the scary part for the rest of the Premier League. None of them compare to what might be coming next.
I think Dowman is, this guy is so graceful. And it's a young kid that's all right. I mean, we talk about generational talent. I don't really like that, putting stuff on someone. It's so early. But honestly, Andy, this guy, if you had him at Man United, this is probably the best young player right now.
Yeah.
Say Europe, world football, 15 years of age. I thought my eyes were deceiving me the other night. He's such a good player at the moment.
Because Arsenal may have just produced their most talented wonder kid yet. His name is Max Dowman. At just 16 years and 67 days old, Dowman already looks like a once-in-a-generation talent, a player with the kind of natural ability that immediately makes scouts, coaches and defenders stop and ask the same question. How is someone this young already this good? Don't believe it. Take a look at this. His dribbling, his creativity, his ability to explode through tight spaces with lightning-quick movements, and the way he manipulates the ball under pressure genuinely make him look like a Lionel Messi region. And the records he's already breaking are ridiculous. Youngest men's player to make a senior appearance for Arsenal. Youngest Arsenal player in Premier League history. Youngest player in Champions League history.
God, here's Max Dowman.
Youngest Arsenal player in FA Cup history. At just 16 years old, he's already rewriting the club's history books. Max Dowman will turn out to be great names in English football. It's just a matter of time. Dowman might be the next global superstar of football. And if you still don't believe that, take a look at this. What Max Dowman is doing right now simply isn't normal. The best player in Mikel Arteta's team during their FA Cup 5th round win was a 16-year-old in a side full of senior internationals and established first-team stars.
So excited, Kay. Honestly, so excited. I think, so much talk in the game at the moment about how organised and structured and, quite dull at times the game is. He's one of those players that goes against all of that. He goes against all of that. The game kind of magnetizes around him, and he has the ability to disrupt any team in the world at such a young age as well, to have that composure that he has. And he just doesn't seem to be fazed by anything. It's really rare to see that these days. And yeah, it's just, I think it's, not just for Arsenal fans, but I think just for football fans in general, to have a player like that is exciting for everyone.
And this wasn't just another youth appearance. It was Dowman's first senior game for Arsenal in 123 days, after the injury that had kept him away from the spotlight for 4 months. Following the night, he became the youngest Champions League player in history during Arsenal's match in Prague against Slavia. The setting couldn't have been tougher either. A loud FA Cup crowd, a chaotic atmosphere, and a pitch that was bouncing everywhere. But none of that seemed to affect him. From the very first minutes, Dowman looked incredibly involved, constantly asking for the ball and trying to stay close to the action, something extremely rare for a player of his age. And that hunger almost paid off immediately. Fully locked into the game, Dowman anticipated a pass from Liam Roberts and beat 2 opponents to the ball, suddenly finding himself through on goal. He set his body perfectly, opened his foot and tried to place the ball across the goalkeeper, but Roberts stretched his legs brilliantly to deny him. Then in the 4th minute came the first real glimpse of magic. Just like Messi or Lamine Yamal often do, Dowman received the ball on the wing and immediately started driving forward with the ball glued to his foot. In seconds, he slipped past 2 defenders with ease, glided into the penalty area, and attempted a dangerous cross that was eventually blocked. By the 13th minute, he was already showing another side of his game, his work rate. Dowman fought hard to win the ball back, and then demonstrated the value he brings when driving forward with long carries. Once he starts running at defenders, the only way to stop him is by fouling him, but the moment that truly showed his talent came later, when Dowman picked up the ball near midfield and turned towards goal in a way that instantly reminded people of Messi. With that smooth body turn, he drove forward, beat 2 players with his unique dribbling style, and when a third defender stepped up, he used the outside of his foot to fake one direction before cutting inside, completely twisting the defender. He entered the box, set himself, and unleashed a powerful low shot that forced the goalkeeper to stretch to his absolute limit to make a spectacular save. At minute 24, he even showed a Brazilian-style instinct inside the box. First, he covered Martinelli's position perfectly, arriving in the right spot to receive the ball. Then, within milliseconds, he began a magician-like sequence of footwork to spin around his defender. But instead of forcing the shot, he made the mature decision to square the ball to Martinelli, who was in an even better position, leaving the Brazilian alone in front of goal, only for the goalkeeper to deny the finish. Dowman kept pushing. In the 27th minute, he almost scored directly from a corner kick, and when the rebound fell back to him, he hit a first-time shot that was blocked by the defence. Even late in the match, he kept showing maturity well beyond his years. In the 63rd minute, he joined Noni Madueke in a counter-attack, sprinting into the Arsenal attacking box while staying perfectly aligned with the ball so he could receive the pass in the best possible position. Madueke eventually found him, and with incredible composure, Dowman delivered a perfect first-time cross to Gabriel Jesus. The Brazilian striker finished immediately, but the goalkeeper made another huge save and a defender cleared the ball off the line. It was a sensational performance from the 16-year-old, easily the most influential player on the pitch, despite sharing it with experienced stars like Leandro Trossard, Christian Nørgaard, and Gabriel Jesus. And the numbers back it up: 13 touches inside the opposition box, 4 successful take-ons out of 7 attempts, 4 passes into the final third, 82% pass accuracy, 2 chances created, 3 shots on target, 7 ball recoveries, and 7 ground duels 1 out of 11. A performance worthy of one label only: 10 out of 10, Wonder Kid. Those of us who truly love football, and especially Arsenal fans, were left completely in shock after watching what 16-year-old Max Dowman just did on that pitch. Performances like that simply aren't supposed to happen at this age, and the moment that really made everyone sit up was that run from midfield. Because the second he picked up the ball and started driving forward, it was impossible not to think about Lionel Messi. The way he carried the ball, the sudden change of pace, the way defenders kept getting left behind one after another. It looked unbelievably similar. The control, the balance, the body feints, the confidence to attack space without hesitation. It all felt eerily familiar. It's that same style of dribbling where the ball seems glued to the player's foot, while defenders just can't quite get close enough to stop him. Watch these 2 plays carefully. Look at the body movement, the acceleration, the way he glides through defenders.
Certainly one of the best. I mean, what he's done with us at the age of 15, me personally, I haven't seen it before. Only with a guy that used to play in Barcelona, but maybe not even that. But yeah, he certainly has, not only that, he has a certain charisma as well and personality that he doesn't get overwhelmed, whether it is by the situation or the stadium or the opposition, and that's a huge quality to have.
Doesn't that remind you of someone? Or maybe you think we're exaggerating. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. This kid might be the closest thing to Lionel Messi in terms of raw talent, alongside Lamine Yamal. Don't believe it? Take a look at this. Born on New Year's Eve in 2009, Max Dowman was spotted early by the coaches at Hale End, and from the very beginning, there was a quiet feeling inside the academy that this lad was different. Not just talented, not just promising, different. The first real glimpse came in September 2023, when then under-18 manager Jack Wilshere gave him his debut at just 13 years old. A 20-minute cameo against Southampton, 13. Let that sink in for a second. Most kids that age are still figuring out school football. Dowman was already stepping onto the pitch with Arsenal's under-18. Because he was still physically growing, the club managed his development carefully, and his next appearance for the under-18s didn't arrive until March 2024, when he returned as a 14-year-old against Fulham. But when he did return, he made an immediate statement. In a 5-2 win, Dowman produced 4 assists for Chido Obi, who would later move to Manchester United, and suddenly people inside English youth football started whispering about this kid from Hale End. Wilshere himself praised Dowman's intelligence, his creativity, and his fearless decision-making on the ball. By the end of the 2023-2024 season, Dowman had already recorded 2 goals and 5 assists in just 7 appearances for the under-18s. But the real explosion came the following year, the 2024-2025 season, under new under-18 manager Adam Birchall, became the campaign where Dowman's development went absolutely through the roof. Playing both as an attacking midfielder and occasionally from the right wing, Dowman began putting up numbers that frankly didn't look normal for a player his age. In September 2024, he scored against Atalanta in the UEFA Youth League, becoming the youngest player ever to score in the competition. But that was only the beginning. During the 2024-25 Under-18 Premier League season, Dowman played 15 matches. In those games he scored 15 goals and delivered 15 assists, 30 direct goal contributions in 15 matches. That's outrageous. And it gets even crazier. 14 of those goals came in his final 7 games of the season. When the campaign reached its decisive stage, Dowman didn't just perform, he took over matches. What made it even more remarkable was Birchall's decision to make him captain in 7 of those games, leading players 2 years older than him. That tells you everything about how highly the coaches rate his mentality. Because talent alone doesn't get you the armband at Hale End. Leadership does, and the moments kept coming. Against Leicester City in early April, Dowman scored a hat-trick in a 5-3 victory, and the first 2 goals were a perfect example of what makes him so frightening. He would pick the ball up deep in midfield, drive forward with unbelievable power, ride challenges, brush defenders aside, and then calmly place the ball past the goalkeeper. Not rushed, not panicked, just pure composure. Then came the match against Aston Villa, where he scored twice. One of those goals showed his ridiculous technical ability. Receiving the ball outside the box, he spun away from pressure, rolled the ball forward with complete control, dribbled past 2 defenders, skipped past another, and then simply glided the ball into the corner of the net. It looked effortless. And despite often facing players 2 or even 3 years older, Dowman's physical strength allowed him to dominate duels in youth football. Time and time again, he would win the ball high up the pitch, immediately turning defence into attack. Against Fulham, he stole possession in their own half, drove towards goal, and smashed a low shot past the keeper to score the winner. At international level, he also made serious noise. During the Under-17 European Championship in Albania, Dowman was one of England's brightest players, even though the team exited at the group stage. Against Belgium, he physically bullied the talented Nathan de Cat during one of his trademark runs. Against Italy, he drew 3 fouls in the first 3 minutes and ended the first half having won 6 fouls, forcing defenders into 2 yellow cards. But his biggest moment on the international stage came against Czechia. Dowman opened the scoring after beating his defender with blistering pace and precise ball control before finishing from close range. Later in that same game, he delivered a stunning defence-splitting assist from his own half, showing the kind of vision that separates good players from truly special ones. Yet the night that truly changed everything came in the FA Youth Cup against Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium in late February. In front of thousands of fans, Dowman produced a performance that made it impossible to ignore him any longer. His strength, his dribbling, his ability to carry the ball through pressure and draw fouls. At times he looked levels above everyone else on the pitch. The moment that went viral came when Dowman picked up the ball in midfield, slowed down just enough to freeze his marker, and then suddenly exploded past him. Entering the penalty area, he forced the defender into a foul and won a penalty before calmly stepping up and converting it himself. Within hours, tens of thousands of people had seen the clip online. And just like that, Max Dowman was no longer Arsenal's secret weapon. Such has been his rapid development that there were even reports Arsenal were ready to give him his first team debut during the 2024-25 season. But Premier League regulations blocked it, because players must be 15 years old at the start of the campaign, and Dowman was still 14 in August 2024, which makes one thing impossible to ignore. When the opportunity finally arrived for him to step onto the pitch with the first team, what Max Dowman did was absolutely spectacular. In the few chances Max Dowman has had to wear the Arsenal shirt with the first team, he has already shown exactly why the hype around him is real. Every appearance has revealed the full range of his abilities. His technical skill and dribbling were clear in his senior debut against Milan, where he beat defenders 3 different times with pure control and confidence. Against Newcastle, he showed that same dribbling ability again, forcing defenders to stop him the only way they could, by bringing him down. But in that match, he also displayed something else, his finishing instinct and attacking runs. At one moment, he picked the ball up near midfield and with a truly Messi-like run, drove all the way to the edge of the box, while defenders simply couldn't stop him. His biggest moment came when he combined both qualities, receiving the ball on the right wing He cut inside past his first defender with ease, accelerated towards the penalty area, and just like Newcastle had done all night, the defender had no choice but to foul him, winning Arsenal a penalty. After those performances came the moment everyone had been waiting for, his Premier League debut against Leeds United. Arteta gave him full freedom on the right wing, and Dowman immediately took control. Time and time again he attacked down the flank, beating defenders, leaving opponents behind or even on the floor. Eventually it led to the decisive moment. Dowman received the ball, faced a double team, dribbled into the penalty area, and once again, the defender could only stop him by bringing him down. The referee pointed to the spot, and Gyökeres converted the penalty. After those performances, the football world learned his name. Max Dowman is no longer just a promising academy player.
Max Dowman. Don't forget that name, guys. Max Dowman. Hale End, Arsenal have produced another young gem.
You want to be left-footed. They're just different. The way they move the ball, it's effortless for them. And Arsenal are blessed. If you look at Miles Lewis-Skelly, Saka, Odegaard, Waneri, I don't know what they're giving them at Arsenal, but they've got some beautiful left foots there, and they just do it differently. And he's going to be a superstar. Make no mistake.
Watching the Arsenal game, and Dowman comes on, and Kai's played against him, and I said, "Is he your age?" And he went, "Yeah, Kai's 2 months older than him."
Oh wow!
I was thinking, it's absolutely crazy that he's playing first team football in the Premier.
He looks like a future global star. His ceiling is impossible to measure. But one thing already feels clear: his technical dominance is almost inhuman. This is a very special player.